Today we wish to talk with you so that you may share with us what you have benefited from this program, particularly in your group of multifamily. As you are families, families includes father, mother, children. We are sure you have learned something, isn't it? That's why today we are here, that you may share to us what you have benefited from this group. As you can see here, we have a cameraman. He will be taking the videos and the pictures. We are doing this with a purpose to cover everything we have conversed, all the conversation, or someone will be writing, or if we may skip or forget some of the words that we have shared here, the video and the audio and the written scripts will help us to cover the whole information of your stories. The other thing is that as we are here, you have been here for 26 weeks, coming once or twice in a week. This means that there are things you feel you are happy, you have benefited, maybe you have also encountered some challenge that many different things. It is in this regards that we want to share and we get to know what you have benefited. Are you really happy? Is it benefiting? Is this program, or is there anything that we should know to improve on the service we have been offering to you? So this conversation is going to take like 2 hours. In this way, we have introduced ourselves to you, and as for the time interest, we will not require everyone to introduce. Rather, everyone that will be having a word towards us will be introducing his names and maybe share his or her story. Do you accept that we take the videos and photos? Thank you. You may clap your hands for yourselves. One thing that maybe we will start with in this talk or the conversation, it is about the talks that you have shared with your families, including the husband, the father, the mother, and your children, what you have benefited, particularly as an individual, or what you have benefited in details as a group. You'll be explaining on the changes that have happened inside in your individual personal life, or maybe there is a wound that you had and maybe it is healing, or it has healed within this group meetings. And you will be leading this conversation to the family as a group. So maybe we can start our conversation. Thank you. There is a mother. Thank you. I am called Mukawera Epiphany. I live in a cell of Guanica. It is in district of Bugesera, Ruhuha sector. The multifamily healing spaces we had for 22 days, it has helped me a lot. I was really bound within my heart. I was living with boundness within my heart. Because in the 1994, there was genocide against Tutsi. During that genocide against Tutsi, people had got different ideologies. For example, the Tutsi were called an enemy or a snake. So one day I saw when they have caught a Tutsi person calling him a cockroach, and I said, oh really? True is that the cockroach is the same as a snake. If they beat it, it does not even cry. That's the word I said. And now time came when the Gacaca court started. They convicted me of those words and the crime I said. So I was imprisoned for 5 years. So I was sentenced, but I served in 2 months. When I came back to do the punishment that is replacing the imprisonment. So I worked for 1 year and 8 months. After that period, when they signed for me almost getting out of the prison, I found when my case was not stamped to release me out of the prison. That's where it started, and I started like serving more time, and then I hated people who were in charge of my criminal case. I really hated the court people in charge. Mostly I would not want even to see was the president of that court. And time came, I had served my sentence for almost for 3 years and 9 months, and the court management, the court leadership changed. So the other one who replaced the court president, the magistrate changed and said this person does not know how to write and to read, she should get out. So when I got out, I kept within myself this grudge and hatred. Mostly whenever I used to see that man, I would hate him. I could not even wish to meet him. I would try even to escape or to dodge him. But when I lived with that boundness, that burden, that hatred, I really thank God because He has many ways to release and relieve someone's heart. When time came, I saw a man called Richard. I used to see Richard as a leader. I could not know his home. I saw the doctor. They came at home. I did not know what had brought them in our home, in our house. They came to visit. They invited me with my husband. They invited me with the whole of my family, and they said, please come. There are discussions we have that we would want you to join. I was thankful to God because I came. When I came in these multi-family healing spaces, I was really comfortable. I was happy for them. When I was relieved in my heart towards the people I used to hate, because about the teachings I used to get from the church, but regarding to that magistrate, the president of the court, I could not forgive him, but I'm thankful to God. This society healing that caused me to forgive this man and love him. Today, I really feel him like him. I could not be at peace with him, but today I'm really released. I also had my brother. I had a brother. We used to have misunderstanding. This misunderstanding came between me and my brother, because one day I went to seek advice from him to solve a family problem that we had from his family, and he said he does not want me from his family, his home. And I was really, I hated him, saying that how could a young brother speak to me to this extent. So I'm thankful to God. By that time, we met in these multi-family healing spaces. So when we met, I saw him also invited and his family. So I was happy that this was the best time that we had to meet as brothers. We took 2 survivors of genocide family members, and we went to meet these people. Me and my brother, we had to share what was pending, and these people reconciled and reunited us. I'm happy that today I have reunited and reconciled with my brother. So I'm grateful to these multi-family healing spaces. My wish to this program or project is that I wish it could carry on. We organized even to visit our leader. For example, he was sick. When we got there, we organized a small group that we should be sharing on a certain day, particularly on every Monday of the second week of the month for us to share, to go back in our history, even we could even start collecting some money, then we could share. But to me, how I see this thing, it is interesting, and actually this is not enough. I wish it would carry on until it would meet many people. What I would say about this multi-family healing spaces has helped me. Thank you. Those are my words. My name is Twagirimukiza Marco. I was born in 1960. I have a family of a wife, a mother, and children. I joined many clubs, but they were not of any importance, because in life I lived as a person who used to remember things that happened on me, mostly during that time of genocide. I'm among the survivors. The trajectory things that happened on me was starting from the year 1960 when I was born till 1994 of recent. The whole of this memory would always come back in my memory, in my life. I had no peace. When I was about to be a normal person living in a good life, then these memories would come back. I could not want to hear or meet anyone that committed genocide. Actually, this also brought some consequences that even in my family, in my home, I could be there without wishing anyone to visit me, without even wishing my child or my children speaking to me. Even my wife could not even easily speak to me. There is a club that we joined. It's kind of the same like this one. It is also that I left that club without benefiting. I could only go there to hear from them. We once again joined another club of unity and reconciliation, to the extent for the testimony I used to share. I sat with someone that was released. He is called Nyagasaza. We were neighbors. But I left that man in a tricky way and I got out. I did not even want to sit with him again when I came back. So I went and sat with my fellow survivor of genocide. We could whisper between each other and I could not benefit from that thing. So I used to go with my wife. But at my home, it was almost the same situation. And then this Society Healing Project Club, or the multifamily, me personally, I started having a feeling of humanity due to the fact that when I had these testimonies of different people on how they benefited, I started feeling a small kind of a benefit on this program. Then I started to humble like myself, like for example, if I made a decision in my house, in my home, no one would change it. I would say this shall happen, and if it does not happen, it would be kind of a conflict. For example, if I got money, I could go and drink beer or alcohol, and this brought a lot of misunderstanding and conflict in my home. So I was confused. I had trauma. I would talk to people. I would even go insulting my children, my wife. But today, I have started to start humbling myself, to cool down, to see that I should reduce this kind of conflict, because as you have heard, it traces roots from 30 years. It cannot just go away, but slowly by slow, the child that could not speak to me, I remember of recent my child saw the changes and brought a letter from school, and he gave me the letter and said, "Father, can you really advise me on this issue that we have at school?" I said, "My child, forgive me. At this moment, I cannot solve this problem, but just give me a time of 3 days. I will answer you." And then it was a way for me to cool and rethink of a way of approaching and not causing conflicts and problems. In the 3 days, I thought of the solution, and then I said, now the problem, the way we are going to solve it, go ask your mother go ask you the phone from your mother and bring it to me. When he brought the phone, I said, now I'm going to show you, to connect you to someone that may solve a problem. If he does not solve it, then bring back the phone. That's how we went out with my child. I showed him on how that person can solve the problem. And when that child approached that person, I said, let me talk to your father. Then we talked with the father. I talked to that person. He did not solve the problem, and then we talked to other things, and then I said, don't worry, my child, he did not reject, but maybe there is hope that we will get a solution. We were together with the mother, and she had what the conversation. We carried on with the conversation. After conversing even other things, after one day, that's when the solution came to realize. And when the solution was materialized, because the child has seen the changes, and the child came and said, "Father, the money that we asked, we did not get the whole amount of money, but here is the sum of the money we have." So that means that money was supposed to come through my hands, and it was me who was in charge. And like it or not, if they wanted, I would not give back this money. So if it was not like that, it would not serve the purpose that it was supposed to do. I would misuse that money. But now, today, the child showed me the money. This is the amount, and what should we do? I said, now my child, if that's the money, that's your money. To solve the problem on how you approach this challenge or the problem, if I have other means, I would support, but go and use that money. I will not take it. Let me advise you. If you have not got the whole sum of the money, but at least if there is a balance, go and give that money that you have got slowly. And my child was thankful to the advice. This is how we have started managing or approaching the problems in my family. Today in my family, they could not, up to today, they could not understand. They could not understand me in my family, but at least today it is in a process of understanding each other. Now there is also someone that is as a survivor of genocide that has faced a lot of problems since I was born from my mother's womb. I was really tortured to the extent many people died in front of me. And this death, all these things, all these problems, it was through this ethnicity. In the year 1960, they wanted to kill me when my mother was carrying me, and they wanted to divide me in two parts, to kill me and divide me in two parts. That those things happened when I was a child. Even a few months later, they called me names. For example, those were bad and very names. My father was neighboring with there was someone neighboring my father from a certain political party of Parimehutu, and when the wife of that man when she gave birth, called my father to go and celebrate or to name the child. my father named that child Baratinze Parmehutu. So on 4th, I mean on the 1st of January, on 1st of April. So my father went and met that man. I have also given birth to a son. And he said, how should I call that son? He said, Ngaye abarambirwa twagira umukiza. So Ngaye abarambirwa twagira umukiza was, so they called me many names. Like I said, I was called another name by my uncle when the Inyens had attacked here in Bugesera. So we had left from Amayaga place, they had burnt our homes, and then we came to my mother's place. And then when the Inyens attacked, the Inyens soldier, my uncle, and my uncle said he does not want people from the Tutsi group to be here, and said I was breastfeeding on my mother, and said, look at that young man, is a Tutsi typical Nyenzi, the cockroach. Nyenzi is cockroach even today. So this kind of division and segregation carried on until 1990, when I was in Kigali, when the RPF army came in the country. I faced a lot of problems. The family I was in was a family of friends. They would call them our Gogwe. They used to divide people according to the area they come from. And that man was a lawyer. That man was married to a daughter, a princess of King Rudahigwa. So the whole of that family was killed. And by that time, in Hotanyi army, on the first day when they attacked Kigali, we were beaten. We did not know when the soldiers broke into our house. They took the passport, they took the IDs, and they took them away. To the extent, a child, when they were beating a mother, and the child cried and held the leg of a soldier, and this soldier, he shoot this young kid, and then they threw this kid into a lorry and they covered it. I could not, since 1990, I could not say thank you to my wife. I used to despise her, but because of what we have learned here, I really am so grateful for my wife. I would like to say thank you for, I married her in the year 1989. We faced a lot of problems and challenges with my wife. She could not leave me. I remember we fled 3 times, for the sake 2 times, but there she is. She carried all my children and she held them, and the child, she carried my children for example, she carried my child for 3 months because of fearing bullets. She held my child for 3 months. She could not leave my child during that time of genocide. I did not say thank you for her. I remember myself when we had scattered. I said, please come. I sent some messenger that she found me in the forest, and I said, please listen. Try by all means that this child, you would take her to your family. You're a great family, maybe you will survive. I remember at the 8th of April, she had tried to hide in eight families. She tried to fight for that child, carrying her for 3 months until we met again. That child, she could only meet my father and the child's grandfather. Other people that child could not meet. them. I did not say thank you to my wife. She has had on me today that I'm grateful for that thing. Till today, this man is called Sebukaire. Since I have ever known him, I could not touch the hands of Sebukaire. I could not even speak to Sebukaire, and I grew up with Sebukaire. Why? Because Sebukaire is a genocide perpetrator. He was imprisoned because of killing people, and I could not tolerate that. So today, Sebukaire, if I can meet him somewhere, I run as an old man that at least I can greet him. The other old man that is sitting there, he knows me since I was born, since my childhood. He knows my father and my mother. But that man, even one single day, I could not even greet him. I could not speak to him. I could not even talk to him. But today, I'm grateful that if I want water, I go and fetch it from his house, because we live in a far distance, but at least if I'm from a market or maybe coming to this club, I go fetching water from this man's house or in his home. And in my life, I had never, I would feel that among the people we neighbor, I could not even speak to this man. But this multifamily group, it has healed the other wound, every wound that you've had, all the trauma and all, though I have not told the whole story. But see, this has brought hope. For example, I had a small challenge, and this old man borrowed me money. So I don't know a way that I wanted, even I remember I wanted to go somewhere, and then I would feel I had some challenges back from my home. I remember giving him my money and said, please take this money and you will contribute this money on my behalf. Today, up to today, my brother today are these people we live together. It is very interesting to see people. When we are seated together here, we can speak. Not only sitting like students in a school, in a class. So that's the importance I've benefited from this group. So my wish today is that this thing that I have at least managed to change my life. Remember, there is even a student, if a student is learning from the first year, knowing A, B, C, D, it requires at least to be promoted to another level, at least even to benefit other fellow students below. So I feel today I'm promoted to another level, at least because I have learned, and I'm still on a journey. And therefore, I really want to say thank you. I thank the government of unity that has introduced and thought of bringing this thing. Honestly, we Rwandans could not be relieved or set free from these wounds. And today the wounds are being healed, though the scars cannot get away. But it is surprising to see me today speaking to Sebukaire, or even speaking to the other old man, or fetching water from his house. It is surprising. That thing, I really am grateful. You deserve to be appreciated. I wish that you may reach all Rwandans and you spread this good news, and let it be like the good news of Jesus. Thank you.